So I want to welcome everyone online, our love streamers online, whether you're near or far or in between. We're so glad you're part of our spiritual community today, and we trust you will enjoy the message. And we're always glad you're here. So if you want to type into the chat box, we have a chat box, and let us know where you're watching from, and we'll give you a shout out next week. I know we have people watching today from Nevada. I know I have friends watching in Florida. And so we have people watching from all over. We love to know where you're watching from, kind of our national community. We may even have international community, but it's fun to watch the center grow, and you're part of that growth. You're part of that energy, and you're part of that spiritual presence today. So no, we are so grateful you're online today. And new visitors, we're glad you're here. We have a welcome pack in the back. If it's your first time here, we'll get that. And online, we have an electronic welcome packet that we will be putting up momentarily, and you'll be able to get that. And if it's your first time, we also have a gift of a Science of Mind book. If you would like a Science of Mind book, come up to me afterwards. It just tells you everything about our center in a little booklet, and it hits right on the core truth that our number one principle, our number one practice, and our number one prayer is a prayer of love. Our CSLB vision, and it's also the vision for our Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, is a world that works for everyone. And just hold that in consciousness for a moment. Just hold, what would that feel like to you? What would that look like to you? I'm seeing faces, and I'm seeing children, and I'm seeing seniors, and I'm seeing flags of all nations flying together. What does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? Because when we find the way to the feeling, it takes us to that being presence of a world that works for everyone, and we call that vibration, that frequency forward. And that's how we do it in this teaching. We use mental equivalents. We use prayer, and we use practices. So feel your way to that world that works for everyone. Our CSLB purpose. What's our purpose here? And our purpose is awakening humanity to that divinity within your humanity. There's this incredible divine spark. We talked about it in meditation today. That soul source becomes a flame of love in your heart that becomes the expression and the embodiment of that flame of love in the world. And so that's what we're talking about, waking our humanity to our spiritual magnificence. It's in there. It's in there. How do we bring it forth? How do we bring it out? How do we align with it? And then our CSLB mission is transforming lives. And at this center, we like to do it one thought at a time because, as you know, we're all of us are walking through things. Some of us are stuck, right? Some of us are stuck. We don't want to stop and build a condo in that energy that's not working. So don't stop and build a condo in the problem. Keep moving until you find your way to that new possibility of consciousness. And as we find our way to that new possibility of consciousness, the way we direct that consciousness, the way we divine that consciousness, the way we demand of that consciousness, the manifestation that we choose to manifest of heaven and earth as one, of all religions as one, of all nations as one, the way we direct that divine energy within to create a world without is one thought at a time. And you know, people say, let's do it one day at a time. There are times one day at a time is just too darn big with all that's going on in the world. So go back to one thought at a time. That's where the power is, that's where the presence is, and that's where we find the purpose in our life. And so now, I'm going to invite Yvonne Fowler to come up and do our announcements for us. So Yvonne, we've got them here, listed for you. And you can work through these one at a time, because Yvonne and I have a little trouble reading the back screen, so we printed them out here.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to start with the flower ministry. Aren't they beautiful? The flower ministry we have every week, and if you want to donate or what's the word? Sponsor the flowers. Let us know ahead of time, because then we can do that. And sometimes when they're not sponsored, we take them into the back when we have fellowship, and we get tickets and we auction them off. But I think these ones are from you, Bobby, aren't they? Beautiful.
And I think she's going to take them home. They're from Arvell, her husband, in honor of the 24th of a month is a special day. He always honored Bobby on the 24th, and so this was close to the 24th, so she always sponsors them for the third Sunday, and we appreciate it. And if you don't want them, I would take them home. I'm just saying, I think they're extra, I told Ross, I think they're extra nice, so I have a feeling they're going home with Bobby, not with me.
Gerald is her son, and they might just be for him this time. Well, the other thing we have is we're starting up our book discussion, and this time with Reverend Neil. It's going to start on Thursday from 4 to 5:30, and the book is going to be More Than We Seem. So that's by Reverend Jesse Jenkins. So what it is it's be ongoing. You can miss because it's not going to be something that you have to go to each time. But it's a good way to really know a little bit more deeper how our philosophy works. So that's going to be at my house. Reverend Neil is going to be the facilitator, and you're all welcome. So there's a celebration with us that's coming on Passover service and Seder meal. So that's on Sunday, March 29th, which is just, 1 week away or 2 weeks away? Service is going to be at 10 a.m., and our guest speaker is Jerry Cousins Phillips. And she's been here before. She's an interfaith minister, and it was wonderful to have her here, and I think you'll really enjoy our Passover service and our meal. So please be prepared for that on the 29th. And then we have the metaphysical movie for next month. And that's going to be on the third Wednesday, not the second Wednesday this time. And it's going to be Guess Who's Coming for Dinner. And so if you'll just remember that, it's the third, and that's April 15th. And it's a spaghetti dinner, and then we have a discussion after the movie. And we always have a good time because we see something and we hear other people's opinion of why it's a metaphysical movie. And it's great. So please join us. Now, we're having a divine dining experience, and it's going to be sponsored by Jack Burnham and Lois Ingram and myself, and it's going to be at my home. It's going to be Melodies in the Garden. We've asked Eve Evans to come and give us a concert. And so we'll be having live music for maybe an hour and a half, just depends. And then we'll have a very nice spread for you. So I hope you'll consider coming. It's going to be $50, and the tickets, we're going to do tickets, not the whatever.
Normally do an auction.
Yeah, it's right. We're going to do $50 for the tickets. So you can purchase the tickets here at the office or with Everbright. And we'd like to know if you're interested and how many people are coming. We have room for 30, okay? So please let us know, and let's get that filled, okay?
And that's a fundraiser for the center, so the proceeds will go to this center.
All the proceeds will go to the center. Now, How to Speak Science of Mind was this morning. We do it twice a month on the first and third Sundays. And it's just a casual conversation, but it's so interesting and so neat. So please come to that. And that's at 9 o'clock. It is from 9 to 9:30. So think about just coming a little earlier on those 2 Sundays and sitting with us and talking.
And today's talk was about entitlement versus empowerment. It was a very interesting discussion today.
And the Wellness Wednesday, that's midweek faith lift. And what it is, it's online. And what we do is we just check in and find out about how our week was or anything bothering us that we want to talk about. And so you have to have a link. You get the email, Reverend, at cslbbeaumont.org, and he'll give you the code to get into Zoom. And we just discuss things for about an hour and a half. And it is really very interesting again, and it helps us as we have a midweek connection with spirit and for our philosophy. And then the Good Grief group, well, that's moving to Tuesdays. It's been Thursdays since the beginning, but as of this next Tuesday, it's going to be from 1 to 2:30. So please check that out. And you don't have to have anything really on your heart that's really bothering you. You can just come to share information or listen to what's going on and feel very comfortable there. So that's at Tuesdays, and it's facilitated by Dr. Michael here.
That's it for announcements. And so now I'll go with our opening song.
So we'll do our centering song. You got it. Time for you to just drop whatever it took to get here today. Those worries, those things that are on your mind, problems of the world, problems of the household, problems with relationships. They will still be there. Don't worry about it. Let them go for right now. Let there be warmth and comfort. Let there be cool and still. Let there be calm and focus. Let there be strength and skill. Let there be piercing beauty. Let there be great success. Let there be sweet surrender. Let there be tenderness. Let there be peace eternal. Let there be love. Let there be acts of kindness to soothe an aching heart. Let there be sweet forgiveness to heal those torn apart. Let there be quiet moments to ease the daily grind. Let there be gentle wisdom to calm a troubled mind. Let there be peace eternal. Let there be love. Let there be love. Let there be love. Let there be love.
All right, and before we have Rev. Bev pray us in, we're going to be presenting for people who were in the Illumination, the Year of Illumined Intentions class. We have certificates for you. So as I call your name, if you would like to come up and receive your certificate, and we'll stand here. And Jasmine Kotse, and I see Nancy, you're here. Would you come up and receive this for Jasmine? She was in class, and it's a certificate if you come here and receive it. And the next person, Tommy Jones. I know Tommy Jones is not in the house today. We will get that to Tommy. Tina Jacob, you were in the class. We have a certificate for Tina. If you want to come on, we'll give you a certificate for the Illumines Intentions class, which was an online class we did with Reverend Marilyn Sprague. And if you want to just stand up here for a second, Tina, and just, yeah, that's Nancy. Good to see you in the house. Ross Holmquist, I believe Ross is here. I know he wrote Share With Me. Ross, thank you for being part of the class. Shana Haywood, I spoke to her yesterday. She is at home watching. So Shana, we will get this to you. Deanne Foster, you were in the class. If you want to come down and receive a certificate, Yvonne Fowler, come on down. Feels like the price is right. Thank you. All right, and we have a certificate for Yvonne, and we have a certificate for Dorothy Cole. Dorothy Cole in the house. Come on down and receive this. And, yep, and we got a certificate for Dorothy, who was in our class. Jack Burnham, we have a certificate for you. If you want to come on down, or we can stay in the seat, we can give it to you there. Steve Adams is not in the house today. And Adrian Madden. Is Adrian Madden in the house? I saw him earlier today. We have a certificate for Adrian. We'll get that to... Adrian, come on down. We have a certificate for the Illumin's Intention class, and we have a certificate for Rev Bev right there. And those are the people who are in the house. And I would like to acknowledge, if each person would just like to say one word, I'm going to borrow Rev Bev's microphone for a second. I'm going to put this microphone to good use today. So just one word, one thought about what you experienced in the class.
Intentional.
Intentionality, good stuff. Jack, one word, one thought.
Love.
Love, experienced love in the class. Dorothy.
Peace.
Peace, sounds like a good class.
Awareness.
Awareness.
Always in gratitude.
Always in gratitude. Tina.
Enlightenment.
Enlightenment. And what would you say for Jasmine? You had a word?
Freedom.
I would say that's a perfect word for Jasmine. I would say you know Jasmine very well. That would have been the word that I think Jasmine was spoken. Dan.
Grateful.
Grateful. So that was a class. We did it online, setting your intentions for the year. We want to acknowledge these people. So thank you for stepping up, taking that class. And we'll do another online class down the road. But thank you for doing that experiment with us. And now I'm going to return this microphone. Okay. And Rev Judy, if you want to come up and join me. And we'll have Rev Bev pray us in.
Gently take a deep breath, the breath of the divine, as we recognize and know that there is one power, one life. And that life is my life. That life is the life of everyone present within the sound of my voice. So we move into that heart space and recognize and know that the power and the presence of God is right where you are. The expression of love, the expression of peace, joy, happiness, harmony, the compassion dwells deep within every soul, everyone that is in this room and those that are online. I recognize and know that the heart to heart, soul to soul, every word that is spoken, every thought that is passing through your mind, it's all spirit. The divine intelligence that I know that expresses life. And that same expression is a vessel for Dr. Michael Curcuru and for Judy, Reverend Judy. I bless and know that every word, every thought, everything that is spoken is shared in this spiritual community and the oneness and wholeness of life expressing in this very moment. And knowing I give thanks for this, and we can lovingly all agree by saying, and so it is.
And so it is. And so today thank you, Rev, beautiful prayer, bringing in that presence. And today we're inviting Rev Judy Asuna from CSL Palm Springs on stage. And Judy and I are going to do a he said, she said, talking science of mind. And we did something a few months ago called Pick a Page, where we invited you to pick a page from the text, and then we would read a paragraph, and then we discuss how that relates to the world today. So I thought it'd be fun if we do that again today. We do pick a page, but we get Judy's opinion as well. So you'll get opinions, and then we're going to invite you, what do you think about the paragraph? So we'll share what we think about it. It may be similar, it may be dichotomous, and then we're going to ask you what you think about it. And just to open, Rev.Michael Gott shared about a gentleman who was at the pearly gates wanting to get into heaven, and God declined his request and said, no, your request has been declined. And the gentleman said, why? And And God said, because you were married 16 times. And we kind of believe in making one commitment. And the man said, but I didn't do anything wrong because I married for better, 4 times for better. I married 4 times for worse. I married 4 times for health and 4 times for sickness. 16 times. That's right there in the scripture. 4 times 4 is 16. Spirit says that's not the way it works. So we're going to the power of 4 today. And in our Science of Mind text, we have 4 main categories. And the first main category is the nature of being. So the nature of being is the first category of our 4 categories. And the second main category, the second 25% of our text, is spiritual mind healing. And the third part of our Science of Mind text is spiritual mind healing. And the fourth part of our Science of Mind text is the perfect whole. So those are the 4 categories that our Science of Mind text is broken down into. And now, and Judy, I have a text for you if you want to turn to a page on your own, or we can share. My text is well worn over the years. This is Ross's text. I'm sure it's as well read, but he just read it a little more gently. So Terry Cole Whitaker said her parents criticized her once because her Bible she dog-eared the pages and ripped out pages and highlighted the pages, and parents said, you're not respecting the book. And she said, no, but I'm living it and I'm embodying it, and I'm sure Spirit's fine with a worn-out Bible. So you read your text, whatever that is, the way you read it, but the main goal is to embody this. So it becomes the empowerment of these words, become the embellishment and the expression of our life, and that's what we're after. So anyone out there have a page number that comes to you that you'd like to call out? 86? No, 80. 80. Okay, let's go to page 80 and see what we have on page 80. All right, Dorothy, and give me, there are 3 paragraphs. Give me a paragraph. 1, 2, or 3? 3, the longest one, of course. There's 2 is really short. Okay, so Judy, do you want to read that?
Is my mic? Yes, it is. Okay, now there's a reason why I don't read my talks. I have this little thing, my words move around, so be patient with me. It says here, turn it as we may, we are confronted with the necessity of a trinity of being. Throughout the ages, the Trinity has been taught. Every great religion, every great spiritual philosophy has taught this Trinity. Father, Son, Holy Ghost is the Christian Trinity. It is the thing, the way it works, and what it does. The thing is absolute intelligence, the way it works, the absolute law, and what it does is a result manifestation. The action of the thing itself is what the Bible calls the Word, absolute intelligence.
Okay, so that's our reading, and it's titled The Trinity of Being. And so in more fundamental teachings, we have Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And in the Science of Mind, New Thought teaching, we have body, mind, and spirit. And I always like to think we can relate that to how it can relate to our lives is agitation. And he talks here about turn it as we may. He says, turn it as we may. However you choose to turn this teaching, through turbulent times, through troubled times, through dark times, no matter how you turn it, it turns that turbulence into triumph. It turns that darkness into light, and it turns that lightness into presence. And so I like to say, kind of in a catchphrase, what this is about, the Trinity. I like to see the first Trinity in my life being agitation. And that agitation in this world might be like the sand in the oyster, right? That makes a beautiful pearl. Without the agitation in our life, things getting shaken up, things getting churned up, things getting turned upside down. Without that agitation, we never come to the escalation of a higher awareness. And so if we allow that agitation and the turbulence and the darkness and the trouble and the tossing and turning of a river, right? It can be flowing smoothly or roughly or going down the rapids. And if we can allow that agitation to become the escalation of our awareness that if it's a river that becomes peaceful, that becomes the rapids, that we always have a choice to ride those rapids any way we choose to ride them. We have a choice to ride the turbulent times any way we choose to ride them through our perspective. So if we allow agitation, that turbulence of a river becoming really rough that was calm when we stepped in, and we allow that agitation to become the escalation of our awareness, wait a minute, the river may be rough, but I'm riding in a boat. And I'm the one in control of that boat, and I'm controlling that boat not just with paddles and oars and rudders. I'm controlling that boat with the paddles and the oars and the rudders of my consciousness. And wherever I am, there's always that knowing of the power and the presence and the purpose of consciousness flowing in, as, and through me. So as I allow the agitation of the world to become the elevation of awareness of my consciousness, the escalation of the awareness of my consciousness, it brings me to an elevation of oneness and knowing that all is one. And I like to see that in relating to a river. And I think it applies to this Trinity, to where the Trinity becomes a unity. And I think that's our flames of faith, and I think that's our new thought teaching. We take all of these trinities of ideas from many faiths and bring them into a unity, and that unity can be reflected in knowing that you can never step in the same river twice because the water is ever flowing. And that's our teaching, and that's the Trinity, and that's what he says here about no matter how you turn this, it always turns us toward the light, it always turns us toward the truth, it always turns us toward a greater faith, and that's agitation. Leads us to elevation of awareness, leads us to an escalation of consciousness, that in this Trinity of body, mind, and spirit, of Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, that agitation to escalation to elevation, all of those trinities become one in unity. When we become one, that we're one with that unity of consciousness that we call love. That is our rudder, that is our sail, that is our paddle, that is our boat, that is our vessel of consciousness. And that's my take on Trinity of Being. Judy, he said, she said.
He said quite a bit. I like it.
Thank you.
So for me, I believe that the science of mind symbol says it all. You guys, of course, know what the science of mind symbol is, right? Okay, it is using a circle to have the fullness of God, and then the law, which is your collective consciousness and everything spirit works through, which could be the agitations, because when our mind and our heart don't agree, we seem to have a little inner conflict. So you are the power and the presence of your word moving through that. You are the individualized expression of the allness of God. You're not all God is, but all you are is God. So what we think with the agitation in the beginning, we are raised by other people's beliefs and thoughts, and we collect that. And we think that's who we are until we come to a Science of Minds service with Rev. Dr. Michael Curcuru, and we discover that we have the power of our own word. We have the power of our choice. And in that, how it works is your awareness moves through the law that always says yes, and it also moves through at the power and the presence of your receptivity and allowing. And then that manifests in form. Now, the Spirit of God doesn't always say, I don't know if that's the best thing for you. It always lets you experience whatever it is you say you want to experience, and then you get to decide what to do with it. But the power of the Holy Trinity is the mind, the law, which is everything that we believe about ourselves, that we hold in our heart, and then it manifests in form, which is our body. We are the walking, talking Holy Trinity. And collectively we come together and we magnify that for the power of good in our community. That's what I have to say about that.
Wow.
Okay.
Love it.
I do too.
I love it. So does anyone out there want to share? I'll come down with the microphone. Anyone want to share about, for you, the Trinity of Being? Anywhere you've experienced it, anywhere it's expressed, any thoughts? Anyone want to share about the Trinity of Being? Your thoughts about science of mind or how it expresses in life? Questions? Anyone? Any questions? Oh, okay, over here, let's go. Is it a question or a share? It's a share. Okay, I love shares.
I just want to say, it's good, everybody. I just want to say it's so nice to hear a man's point of view and a woman's point of view. It's just so refreshing to get that full circle. I really appreciate the presentation of it, of this idea.
Thank you.
Fantastic, don't you?
Thank you very much. I thought it would be great to get the point, counterpoint, and try that. Anyone else have a share or a question about the Trinity of Being? Okay, and I really like that Judy brought in the power of your word, and that is expressed through our actions, and that ends up being the empowerment and the embodiment of spirit right here on earth. That's how that works. All right, anybody else have a page number? 452? Yeah. 452. Okay, we're going deep into the teaching. 452, deep. And Ernest Holmes invites us to go deep unto deep. So there we go, page 452. We're not quite at the back, 2/3 of the way. 452. And Shannon, paragraph 2. All right, paragraph 2. So I guess that's this one, Judy, right here. All right, so the pearl of great price. I love the title, and that comes from Matthew chapter 13, verse 45 and 46. So the title of this paragraph or this section is The Pearl of Great Price. So think about all these stories about sand and the oyster and pearls of great price, what they mean to you as we read this. The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a pearl of great price, for which a man will sell all that he has, so that he may possess that pearl. This perhaps best explains the way of the illumined. To them, the kingdom of heaven has meant everything and has been above all else. We find them going away by themselves that they may more completely enjoy this inner realization of their relationship to the whole. I love this. A divine companionship. Isn't that beautiful? A divine companionship has ever attended such on the pathway of human experience. The description of the things they have seen, felt, and heard constitutes some of the most valuable lessons the world has ever learned. So that's titled The Pearl of Great Price. Think about what stories around pearls and wisdom have meant to you. And Judy, do you want to take that away with your...
I would love to, thank you. And I can't help but answer this without reflecting on the story that Rev.Michael just told. That sand, that irritation, that, you called it an aggravation to the illumination or?
Agitation to escalation to elevation.
Yes. So in the things, this comes to my mind right now. What man meant for harm, God uses for good. So I really don't think man means anything from harm, but sometimes we can think about what we're going through and make it difficult, more difficult than it has to be. But understanding and knowing everything that we're going through is being used for our highest and best good helps create the pearl. You want that. They're rare, they're beautiful, right? So in everyday life, in every situation, and I used to tell my mother this all the time, it's one thing to be born beautiful, but it's another thing to live beautifully. When you can be in the world but not of it, when you can be in a situation and still see the power and the presence and the beauty of God in it, that's when you have developed the best relationship in the world you could have, and that's the one with yourself. Because you can't love God without loving yourself. You can't understand God without understanding yourself. It's all an inward journey. And I think everything that life throws at us allows us to show the world who we are by what we do with it. And that's the pearl.
Beautiful. Really beautiful. Share. So the pearl of great price. I'm going to go back to I can't think who this is, Emily Browning, but she says to hold a grain of sand in the palm of your hand. She says it more beautifully than, do you know the quote exactly? Yeah, to hold a grain of sand in the palm of your hand, and in that grain of sand to see the entirety of the world and universes. In every grain of sand, and he's talking about the pearl of great price, and we can take a look at the pearl of great price as the wonderment of wisdom. Let's take a look at the pearl of great price as the wonderment of wisdom, and be in wonder, in that state of wonder that brings us to that state of wisdom, counsel of higher knowing, that in the grain of sand held in the palm of your hand is all of the universes beyond universes. It's all there in one grain of sand. And I came across this the other day, or it came across me, however that happens, and I loved it, because I love shifting consciousness. Because it always is. And it's so beautiful to go with the shift. And the shift was, yes, the grain of sand in your hand, but, and I love this, if you take a grain of sand from the beach and put it in your hand, every grain of sand and every beach in the entire world shifts, because it's all one. And if you take a grain of sand from the beach you're on and put it in your hand, all of the grains of sand and all of the beaches of the world shift. And while that may be challenging to process intellectually, if we process it through our heart, the Chinese say that when a butterfly flaps its wings in China, the wind currents in Florida change. And that's this teaching. Can you move beyond the known of your intellect into the knowing, that wonderment of wisdom, that that's the way it works? Every grain of sand relates to every other grain of sand. Every thought we think relates to every other thought everyone is thinking. Every breath we take is truly one breath in that breath of spirit. And every beat of our heart is really our heart beating as one in Spirit's heart. And there you have that oneness and that unity and that wisdom of great price and that pearl of great price, and the knowing that in one grain of sand is the all of the universe. And in the presence of our being is all of the presence of all of the beings of the universe. And as we evolve, as we expand, and as we express more fully that Trinity that we spoke about before, that Trinity of love as a unity of the presence that we are, each person and everyone and all sentient beings and all plants and all rocks and all minerals and all flows of water change as we change with the shifting sands beneath our feet and the shifting sands within our soul. And that shifting essence of love within our heart. This teaching, and I think we've seen bumper stickers, it's all about shift. And that's my take. Anyone else have a question or a thought about one grain of sand where you realize your energy and your presence makes a difference to everyone on this planet? Thoughts? Questions? Answers?
I like the butterfly effect. Yes. That changes the winds.
We're doing this so the people online can hear.
I like the butterfly effect because it changes the winds. I think in our human effect, we could blow out with the love and heal the world and bring peace with the blow.
So Tina's even sharing the blowing of our own breath out into the world. And if we blow it out with that vibration of harmony and love and peace, if that's the thought we're holding, right? One breath at a time, one thought at a time. If we're thinking peace and harmony and bliss and bounty and prosperity, and we blow that out into the world, as she blows her breath out into the world, it affects all of the wind currents in the world that pick up on that vibrational frequency. And those wind currents even touch people as far away as China. And who knows? Maybe as far away as Iran today. We'll hold that in consciousness, that what we hold in consciousness here can transform even the energy of what's going on in the world forum today. Anyone else with a thought or a share? Question? Debbie, do you have something? Sure. You're just sending out energy? Debbie's presencing that.
They take all this terrible stuff away from Iran and all the countries that have been bombed with little drones, and I'm just praying that they don't already have terrorists here that are going to get drones and bomb our country.
So let's just know and do a prayer of peace. And why don't we do that together? Judy, do you want to do a collective prayer? I'll start with the 5 steps. We want to do the 5 steps. You want to do a prayer? I'll do step 1. You do step 2. Which step do you want to start with?
Go step 1.
You'll do step 1?
You'll do
I'll do step 1. Then we're going to do, this is called shared prayer. And so just knowing that in that allness and that oneness and that unity and that grain of sand where all is one, that there is a vibration, there is a frequency, and there is a volume to spirit. And that volume is often in silence. And so as we take this prayer of peace into the silence between the beats of our heart, the beats of our breath, even between the beats of our flittering eyelids, that in that presence, there's a quietude, there's a serenity, and there's an ocean of calm. And that ocean of calm that we call spirit, that ocean of calm that we call presence, that ocean of calm that we call love. It's always rising, it's always falling, it's always approaching the shore, it's always falling back from the shore. But in that rising and that falling, in that approaching and falling away from, there's a balance. That ocean that we call spirit, that ocean that we call presence, that ocean that we call love, it's always in balance. Yes, there are high tides, there are low tides, there are mean tides, there are ebb tides. But there's also an evenness of that flow, as the flow out and the flow in, the flow forward and the flow back, always returns to the essence and that peace and that oneness of the unity of that ocean of consciousness that we choose to call love. And so despite the imbalance of the high tides and the imbalance of the low tides, there's no imbalance, there's no out of balance, there's only the absolute perfect balance of that presence and that peace, of that oneness, of that ocean of consciousness that we choose to call love, that we choose to vibrate in that frequency of love, that we become that vibration of love, and that we become that voice of love that so often, in times of turmoil, we invite that presence of spirit to speak in the peace and the solitude and the calm of silence.
And in that silence, as we sit in the ocean of our emotions, our emotion of love, that God is all there is, that God is the law, God is expressing in everything, as everything, all the time. As Ernest Holmes says, there is but one life, and that life is God's life, and that life is my life now. That life is each and every one of us. Though the God is the ocean, we are the waves that come upon the shore. We are the tide that swells with love, and the recession when it's time to sit in the quiet. It's all good. It's all God. And we navigate this by understanding that the Spirit within us is the very love of God itself. It is the power and the presence. It is the expression that we choose. Peace, divine right action, gratitude, wisdom. It's all by divine appointment. And use this in our hearts, in our lives today, that we may express more fully the love of God.
Beautiful, thank you. And that was step 2. And so now we're going to step 3 of prayer, and that's affirmation. And so I affirm, and I declare, and I make welcome the silence. And I affirm that there is a silence in each nation. There is a silence in each member of each nation. There's a silence in each member on the battlefield. And I'm affirming that that silence finds its way from that soul of the ocean of consciousness, from that vibration and frequency of love and peace and harmony, into the hearts of every member of every nation, into the leadership of every person and leadership of every nation, into the presence of every person on the battlefield. That we take a time to be quiet. We take the time to be present. And we take the time to realize, and I affirm this, the power is not in the external. The power is in the presence of the wisdom of the internal voice of truth, which is love and only love. I affirm, I declare, and I make welcome that in that silence, within each and all of us, that power and that presence and that passion and that purpose of love is here and now made manifest in body, in mind, in spirit, in the Holy Trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, in that Holy Trinity of the power of choice that leads us to our presence of purpose, that leads us to our purpose of love is all and all is love. This I affirm, this I declare, this I make welcome in the silence of my soul, in the silence of my heart, in the silence of my mind, as one with the silence in the soul and the heart and the mind of all. And I turn it over to Reverend Judy.
And with much love and gratitude, I accept. I'm knowing that the word has been spoken. And in the beginning is the Word, and the Word was made flesh today. It has been asked, and it is done unto us as we believe. Ask, and it is given. So the inner work now is in being in the gratitude of the expectation of this prayer. To live in the gratitude that it is already done. We've already asked. Now we act accordingly in gratitude, in thanks. Thank you, God, for this moment, knowing that the seed has been planted, the consciousness is fertile, and the effect is made manifest even now, right here in our own minds, in our own hearts, in our own bodies, for everything is connected. And as every great philosophy and religion states, ask, and it is given. Ask, we've asked. Speak your word. Allow your word to be impressed upon the energy and the essence of God itself. And then be receptive. Know the answer is here. Not that it's coming. The answer is here. Own the power of your own consciousness with gratitude that accept the prayer as complete. And I pass.
And so I receive in knowing that prayer is not about talking to God. Prayer is the practice of finding our way to that silence in our soul, that silence in our heart, that silence in our mind, that silence of that ocean of consciousness, that silence of that wisdom of wonder, that silence of that knowing beyond knowing. And so in that knowing beyond knowing, I am knowing that prayer once begun is already done, because it is not our prayer, it is Spirit's prayer. And Spirit's prayer was known to Spirit before it was known to us. And truly what we are downloading and uploading and loading into our consciousness is that Spirit's prayer. And Spirit's prayer is always prayed in peace and calm and serenity. And as we stop talking to God and start listening to God, I'm knowing that peace and calm and serenity of the prayer of Spirit, which was prayed before we even began to pray our prayer ourselves, is right here and now present. It's right here and now present in Centers of Spiritual Living. It's right here and now present in Centers for Spiritual Living Beaumont. It's right here and now present in this nation we call America. It's right here and now present in the continent of Europe. It's right here and now present in all nations as one nation. All nations as one in that silence, that presence, that peace, that power, that passion, that purpose of knowing that all prayers are prayers of love and that prayers are always answered and that the answer to any prayer and the answer to any question and the answer to any embattlement is the empowerment of the word of love. And together I invite us to say, and so it is. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Page number. Pick a page and shout it out because I need a hearing aid and I'm refusing to admit that I'm not old, so you need to shout it out. Page number. 227? I heard that. 227. And Lily, what paragraph number? Paragraph 1 on 227.
Do y'all know what's on these pages? No. Did you do a study group before you started?
All right. So paragraph 1. So why don't you want to read that, Judy, and let's take this paragraph because that's a half a paragraph, if that works for you.
Okay. Now, if subjective thought were a thing apart from us, is it working? There it is. I'm going to repeat. Now, if subjective thought were a thing apart from us, if we did not have conscious access to it, we could not change it. But being the result of the way thought has worked, we can consciously change it. If this were not true, mental healing would not be possible.
Okay.
Take it away.
I'm going to take that away. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm going to take it wherever it goes or let it take me. And so Freud talked about in this teaching, there are things that lie below our awareness. Right now, I'm aware that Debbie's wearing a red dress. Right now, I'm aware that Reb Bev is wearing kind of an aqua, turquoise blue color thing. And I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the temperature in this room. I'm aware of the lights in this room. And those are things that we're consciously aware of. But below that conscious awareness, below that, I'm going to wander a little. Below that conscious awareness, there's a sublevel. And Freud talked about it this way. Freud said, take a look at our subconscious, our conscious, and our superconscious, which is the spiritual. He said, take a look at it as a house. And he said, the subconscious is your basement. Now, we had basements in New England, not so big in California. But if you know what New England basements look like, everything that you had all of your life was stored in the basement. I mean, your childhood coloring books and your little jack-in-the-box. And the basement's just filled with memories. And all of those memories impact us, even though we don't remember them every day. That basement full of memories and that basement full of life experiences, it's all there in the soul level. It's all there, and it will always be there. But those things can control our life. A happy memory, a sad memory, a divorce, a parent's divorce, or a parent died, or our sibling died. That's all there. But on the conscious level, we don't think about that every day. And so we need to go into that basement of experience and clean it out. And we need to remove all of those experiences that everything is beneficial, but we need to examine them and see how they're affecting us and realize that through the power of our choice, we can change our relationship, even with a jack-in-the-box, even with the Raggedy Ann doll that you had. The Raggedy Ann doll in that experience will remain the same, but what will change in our subconscious when we're willing to look at it is the way we relate to it. And when we change the way we relate to everything in our past from whence we came, it changes to who we are right here in the moment. It allows us to be present with the people in this room. It allows us to be present with our spiritual practice. It allows us to be present with a Science of Mind text. It allows us to be in the moment present with a prayer for peace. It allows us to be spontaneous. And when we allow ourselves to be spontaneous by examining the debris of our undercurrents, it allows us to be present with the divine right in here and now. And as we're present with the divine right here and now within Rev.Michael and Rev. Judy, we become present with the divine within each and all of us. And then we begin to experience things on spiritual realm. But you've got to go down into the basement. We do that with contemplation, we do it with reflection, we do it with meditation, we do it with journaling. We do it taking classes. Fifth Agreement is a great place to explore this stuff. What's down there? So what's down there relates to how we are here and now today, and how we are here and now today relates to what we're going to create tomorrow, because we create our greater tomorrows by who we are today. And that's my take on the subjective. Judy, take it away.
Thank you very much. It was a great setup. So there's a Jesuit saying that give me a child until they're 7, and I'll give you a man. All of your values and beliefs are developed when you're a child. So the basement is all of those things that happen to you and what you make them mean. Everything in life is about what you're focusing on, what you're making it mean, and how it makes you feel. And looking at those things, what I discovered is my ego didn't know the difference between change and annihilation. So I had to be gentle with myself and accept myself for the way I showed up at that time to allow me to make changes right here, right now. So the subjective has a stranglehold on us until we make peace with it. But it's like, who wants to go out and protest against a war? I would like to go out and demonstrate for peace. It's the difference. And that in Western medicine, we tend to go in and cut out what doesn't make us feel good. It's like, it just grows back. Most of the time, the dis-ease of our bodies will grow back until we change the way we show up. And dealing with the subjective is just getting to know yourself at all the different stages of your life and being at peace with it. Looking at that little 7-year-old and going, you are such a strong, powerful young person. And not only did you develop into a minister, not only did you overcome any obstacles that you had, you've learned to love the world, love God with all your heart, and know that there's no separation in any of it. It's called a present for a reason, to enjoy the gift of life in all aspects. It's not, God is omnipresent. Say the omnis for me.
Omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotence.
I know God knows everything, is everything, everywhere, all the time. That's my omni expression. That God is in everything all the time. So even the difficult times, even the hard times, there's something good in it because there's God in it. So when we can look at that subjective and be at peace with who we've become and what we've been through, and to stand proud that you endured the agitations to become the person that is the pearl of wisdom, not only in your life, but the example for others. I'm complete.
And so now we are complete, and so we'll turn it over to Mr. Al Yankee to tie all of this together in some magical way. Big assignment, Al.
Well, it's actually not, because the
you're
universe works in mysterious ways. This piece is called Lessons in Life, and of course we've been getting much wisdom and many lessons from these two marvelous speakers. Thank you so much. How about another round of applause for them? Entirely improvisational. They had no idea where that was coming from. And I didn't have any idea until just a moment ago how this was all going to work. This song is actually from a musical play written by a friend of mine from Los Angeles. and I heard him do it. In the play, it is a father talking to his daughter. So it's about the child and the lessons that come. And this is hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Don't be upset if you don't come in first. Shoot from the hip and love from the heart. Take a few moments to take in art. Don't cut in line, just wait your turn. These are the lessons in life to learn. Cross every T and look 'em straight in the eye. Don't be embarrassed, let 'em see you cry, and use what you got. Use common sense. You'll never get too far sitting on the fence. The respect that you want is the respect that you earn. These are the lessons in life to learn. And as love takes you higher, you can soar through the sky. Let every desire be the reason you try. You can fly above it all. And sometimes you'll fall. Never give up, but sometimes give in. Look where you're going, not where you've been. Take a deep breath, be steady and strong. Stand for what's right, but admit when you're wrong. And when you grow up and you're on your own, if you ever feel beaten or sad or alone, to my arms you can always return. These are the lessons in life. These are the lessons in life. These are the lessons in life to learn.
Judy's going to pray us out.
Acknowledging the beauty that was just expressed in that song. Acknowledging how the song is the harmony in which we listen and love and live through, which God is the universe, the one song, the one power, the one presence. And we are vibrations. We want to be in harmony with the one power, the one presence, the one love that I call God. So as we take the information that we have been given today, as we navigate the waves and the rivers and the ocean of life, that we take time to look within, to set the sail that no matter what the conditions, we are trained, we are God-given, the wisdom and the guidance of God is within us, and that we will prevail. We always do, we always have. And thank God, I of myself do nothing. It is the Spirit of God within us that does the work. As I breathe, I am one with Spirit. As you breathe, you take in the wisdom and the guidance that was shared this morning and make it your own. An individualized expression of God. The power and the presence of love is within you. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. That's you talking to you as well. Give yourself what you've been looking for in life. Peace, love, joy, connection, power. You're beautiful. Live it, be it. Share it with the world. Give from the overflow. And in the peace of this, in the love of this, in the standing in the center of this, I hold that for each and every one of us here, that it is already so. Peace that we're looking for starts within. Thank you, God. Yes, more, please. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Judy, for joining today. The power of saying yes. At 2 a.m, I woke up and I thought, gee, it'd be fun to do a he said, she said. What would that look like? And I thought, I wonder if Rev. Judy's available. I called her Tuesday morning and she said yes. She's like 30 days notice normally. And she said yes. And I thought, Spirit's inviting the flow. Spirit's inviting the flow. And so this came together really just from a spark of an idea. We talked about the spark last week, and the spark of an idea, and then you put it into words, and you reach out, and you invite people in, and Judy came in and accepted the invitation, made it welcome, and this all came about with ease and grace and flow when we say yes.
And may I add to that?
You may.
I thought I was too busy to do it. I'm leaving for Hawaii on Tuesday. But, I'm training myself to say yes, even if it's a not now. I don't want to say no to Spirit. I want to say yes. Yes, I pray, use me. Someone calls, yes. Yes, thank you, more please.
Thank you.
So training your nervous system to say yes.
Yes. And I also like to say YES, yes of all spirit, and no doesn't grow. So now it's our time for conscious giving. And so, and I just wanted you to be aware of where I'm coming from. I stepped off the what do you call it, the dais or the platform, because I don't like to bring financial stuff up there. That's kind of sacred space. And in this sanctuary, we do ask for an offering and a tithe, and your presence is your greatest tithe. But it's part of spiritual ritual. So that's why I'm okay with asking for an offering. It's actually part of spiritual ritual to invite you to tithe so you can grow and you can expand. So that's why I'm okay with it here, but I kind of step away from the podium for this part of it. And so I invite us to read this together. I give and receive freely. There's that big word, freely. I give and receive freely and generously with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is.
Thank you for giving, and thank you for receiving, and thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing, and thank you for believing, and thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing. And you are the vessel of that love.
Thank you.
So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Who you are.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you.
Who you are. Who you are.
I'll give you a big one after service. Good seeing you, Ty.
Who you are.
Hey, stay for lunch. It's gonna be good. I'm going to invite us just for a minute to stay in this space because I'm feeling really present. And so let's just take a minute and just stay present with the energy here. We talked in meditation about that candlelight, that flame in our heart that was growing bigger and brighter. And as it grew bigger and brighter, the light in the world grew brighter. So I'm knowing this because I'm feeling this, and I'm feeling it, so I'm seeing it. I'm knowing the light of love is brighter in the world today because of all of the elements of this service, all of the people of this service that came together. I'm knowing that that energy of peace is absolutely more present in the world today because in a little church in Beaumont, California, people came together in the bigness of their heart. And I knowing that the world that works for everyone is closer than it's ever been because of the way each of us and all of us showed up at the Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont today. And I invite us to say, and so it is. And so now it's time, if you're new here, we circle up and join hands and circle the sanctuary. Al will play a circle up song for us. We'll sing along to it if we know it. And if you don't feel comfortable joining in the circle, you can remain seated and join us in consciousness.
One people living
Lyrics are on the screen.
planet, joining in one family. We are all one people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are one family. We are all one family. We are all one family. We are one. We are all one.
One family.
All right. Yay! And so so what we're going to know here today at CSL Beaumont, something wonderful happened. That something wonderful happened as we came together in spiritual family. We came together in that consciousness of love, and we came to that knowing that we are the light that lights the world. That's the good news and the bad news. Go forth and shine brightly. Corned beef and cabbage in Carter Hall, and pies and cakes and salads. Stay for lunch and prayer with Practitioner Adian over here with the stole. He will lead you to the prayer room, the Om room. So don't leave here with anything heavy on your heart. Work with Adian, release it, and open up that light of love in your heart to shine brightly. So Adian, heading to the Om room, our prayer room, full lunch in Carter Hall. Thank you for being here. Pistachio cake. Sounds wonderful.
In my eyes, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my life, I have been searching for something